everybody, welcome to episode 142 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph. And this week's topic is Best Movie Mentor. Bob and Joseph, how are you guys doing?
Mentor, like elevator.
I think you should try to stop doing that intro until you're like fully on. He's still struggling, ladies and gentlemen.
They told me pneumonia could last up to 4 to 6 months. So, somewhere in my chest, around, it's hanging out there somewhere. So,
oh shit,
let's see what's going on. But I feel
that was
fine.
better than last time.
That was better. Yeah, people were telling me, "Are you okay?" They think I was fine last time.
Like, why? What's wrong with me?
Baker. Why?
The bags under your eyes.
Did you not like the episode?
Yeah, they loved it. They were worried about me. People were concerned.
People, it's this Dia that listens to the.
How are you guys doing, Bob and Joseph?
We're good. Joseph was sick too, man. Did y'all share a soda or something? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
From thousands of miles away.
Yes.
You're supposed to buy opposite ends of the churro, not the same end, Joseph. Randall. Come on, man.
Guys, we're talking about mentors, and can I share a failed mentor moment with you guys to kick us off? Let's set the scene. Let's acknowledge that we were fortunate enough to grow up with some great mentors. I'm talking about our fathers, right? So to honor them, we try to be great mentors to our children, to our nieces, to our nephews. Try being the key word here, because I absolutely fumbled the bag this past weekend. So let me set the scene here. My wife, my son, and I were watching Nuremberg, which is a great movie, PG-13, historical, let's learn something as a family, right? All right, we start talking about how great Rami Malek is as an actor, right? And listen, she was being a little too complimentary, if you ask me. I'm like, he's great, but let's relax. They shouldn't have washboard abs in 1946 Germany. I'm just saying. Bread lines, not solo flexes. Anyway, we pivot into talking about Bohemian Rhapsody. And we've talked about Bohemian Rhapsody before on this show, guys. I love Rami Malek's performance. I hated the movie. I mean, the film feels like a VH1 special with a gym membership, right? What were you guys? Did you guys enjoy Bohemian Rhapsody? I couldn't remember what you all thought about that movie.
I did. Like, there is overall, that was it was a good movie. It was, but there were some things I felt like he did it maybe a little bit too much with the teeth thing. I don't know. It bothered me at a certain point.
Sounds personal.
Yeah, it was. It is. Go back to Mr. Robot. Yeah, but I liked it.
What about you, Joseph? Never seen it? Okay, don't waste your time. Anyway,
I've seen him in other things, and he's been entertaining though. So I guess it'd have to be based on, like, I don't know, a specific character.
I know they left a lot of shit out too. Like there was no dark side to the story.
He's Pennywise, right?
No.
That's one of the brothers. There's like 8 of them.
Sarsgaard.
Sarsgaard brothers.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Google it, Joseph. The Lord gave us Google for a reason.
Get closer to the microphone, Joseph.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay,
he just wants to see it against your lips. There's a good laugh. There we go. We're on track, folks. We're on track.
Let me finish the story, okay?
Oh shit, he's still going with the story. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it is Skarsgård.
My son, here's my wife and I talking about Rami Malek and Bohemian Rhapsody, and my son loves Queen, raising him right, clearly doing at least one thing correctly. So he asks both of us if he could watch Bohemian Rhapsody. Now I'm thinking PG-13, super sanitized version of Freddie Mercury's life. How bad could it be?
Oh.
The only thing offensive I remembered was that Brian May had the same hairstyle since the Carter administration, right? But you guys remember how Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to do this movie and make it real, right? Like an actual rock star chaos documentary. But Queen said, absolutely not. We're going to protect our guy.
Why I didn't watch it.
They wrap Freddie in bubble wrap in a PG-13 rating. Anyway, so my son watches the movie alone and he comes back. He says he likes it. I'm like, great. Parenting win, mentor win, roll the credits. He did have one question, though, and this is where everything falls apart. He asked me, Dad, who are those guys with the leather, the mask, and the hairy chest at Freddie Mercury's party?
Did you say Demolition?
That's what I said. I said, those are professional wrestlers. That's what I went with, because nothing says WWE like assless chaps and emotional eye contact, right? Anyway, I had no idea this movie was going to introduce him to S&M culture on screen. I was hoping we could at least build up to that, like maybe ease in with Pulp Fiction, meet the Gimp properly as a family, or go full chaotic parenting and watch 8mm together. But no, Freddie Mercury's House Party beat me to it. And now he's old enough not to buy my lie.
For just so you know, guys, this is probably gonna be a short episode because CPS will be knocking on Randall's door in just T-minus 30 minutes.
ICE will too as I go to Washington, D.C. We'll get to that later.
Oh, shoot.
So today we're not talking about the hero, guys, not the villain, the person who trained the hero and probably had unresolved trauma. Before we start off, we have to define mentor. So in your definition, fellas, how do you define mentor? What are the key descriptions of a mentor?
Oh, he's gotta take the kid or the hero to the next level. I think that's the greatest description of it. You know, confidence wise, physically, mentally, everything, all of the above. They got to take them to the next level. I think that's what a good mentor does. And in a lot of these movies, we see that, except for y'all's picks.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I mean, so obviously, if the mentor teaching, not necessarily a student, so it's not like a teacher-student situation all the time, but like a Goodwill Hunting. But just somebody who makes somebody better, I guess, just by simply being there and or teaching them anything that they can, I guess.
I agree with both of you.
Very simple.
Pretty simple, right? They must guide, they must train, inspire, or even emotionally damage the protagonist into greatness, right? So essentially build somebody up, fuck them up, build them up, and make them the hero at the end, right? I think a movie mentor is somebody like, how would you describe the look of a movie mentor? Because we watch all these movies, they always look a certain way. So I wrote down these descriptions. They look like they've been divorced 3 times. They only own one outfit, and they probably has a kid in rehab and is using our hero as a surrogate son or daughter.
I was gonna say he probably has a kid he doesn't know about.
Every movie mentor has one of 3 endings, right? They either die dramatically, they disappear at the worst possible moment, or they watch you struggle and they go, okay, well, this is part of your journey. So, I mean, movie mentors can really screw somebody up, right? But at the end, they get it, right? So,
Jeez, Rand really wants you to say right, Joseph, right. I'm with you, bro. Go ahead.
Would you actually want a movie mentor?
Yes, I think you would. I mean, everybody needs somebody to push them and maybe help them out. I think in any movie, a war movie, a sports movie, anything like that, I think that you need to have some kind of mentor, some kind of leader that kind of pushes you beyond your limits. I think it makes for great. In the 80s, it made for great montages too, so it worked out really well.
Currently, no. I mean, I wouldn't. What are they going to do? My life's ruined already. But sure. Back when we were younger, I mean, that's kind of like when we were in sports, obviously. So our mentors were. I'm not going to mention them by name, but Bob knows who I'm speaking of. We had a coach who just a couple of coaches, and I mean we grew up being respectful. At least I think we did. We're not like that anymore because we're not in school and we're adults. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
Jesus Christ.
But when we were younger and growing up, I believe we were respectful. I've always, been respectful to most people. And it's because I had, people teaching me like, hey, this is how you grow up and you be respectful and and things like that. So, yeah. I mean, maybe definitely when you're younger, if you're trying to accomplish something, sure. But like I said, I'm old, so fuck it.
Jesus Christ, Joseph.
I love how a movie mentor doesn't help you conveniently, right? They show up when your life is already falling apart, kind of like a divorce, kind of like a divorce attorney, right? So like, oh, you're struggling, perfect, time for character development.
Let's see how many push-ups you can do.
Yeah, I don't want the training schedule, the riddles, the tasks, or someone yelling at me while I run. Okay, just let me run. But yeah, I think I don't know if I'd want a movie mentor. I think a little intense, a lot of time consumption, and not for me. At least not ever.
He'd probably get you to turn off the fucking Queen movie for your son.
So, which mentor would be the worst in real life out of all the movie mentors you caught?
Oh shit! Let's see. The worst one, like the one that'd be like the hardest on you, or just the worst one in general?
The worst one in general.
Oh man, let's piss off some Lord of the Rings. The pimp from Lord of the Rings would probably be the worst one. Smokes too much. He drinks with underage individuals. Come on, what's his name? Gandalf.
Oh yeah, he's one of the best.
He walks around in a robe. He never changes. He has a cane. I mean, come on.
You know what? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Who you got?
I got Yoda. I mean, he speaks out of order, talks. That's Sloth from Goonies.
Yeah, y'all kind of missed the mark. There is no try.
This borderline Tim the Toolman.
Oh, yeah. Might as well.
That's
He's a
Yoda
good TV mentor, a good TV father mentor. I mean, he's
That
the
sounds
father
like-
of the kids, but he's a good mentor to his kids.
Sounds like Yoda creating Grogu. So he hangs out for a day and turns around and dies when you ask a question. So I think Yoda would be the absolute worst movie mentor, at least in my
Really?
opinion. Yes.
Because
What
you don't
about-
know how to use your lightsaber.
What do you guys
Who's
think?
that? Have you? I don't know his name, but it's a very funny scene. You remember? Is it that movie Hall Pass where like they go out with that older guy? I can't remember who the actor is, and like they get pulled over. The guy's driving, and fuck, I'm not. I know y'all aren't gonna know, but anyway, basically in the scene, they get pulled over, and the cops come over. It's like, oh, it smells like alcohol, and the guy just basically has an excuse for
Oh
everything.
yeah, he's like,
Sorry.
medication. What is your drug? Let me give you a drug alcohol test. Well, I did take NyQuil. Would that show up on the? Yeah, he has every little thing in there. Yeah, he has an excuse for everything. It's fucking funny.
He has a comeback for everything. It's like,
Is it
like,
Hall
that's a terrible-
Pass?
Yeah, I think it's Hall
Yeah,
Pass.
it's Hall Pass. Yeah, I know it's Owen Wilson in the passenger seat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where they go to like Applebee's. Hey, we can all go out and party and get chicks, and they go to Applebee's and they're all fucking full from eating ribs. That's our life now, guys. Jesus Christ.
Let's go on to our honorable mentions, guys. Who do you have as your honorable mentions for best movie mentor?
I got a quick list. I got what's his, and two are the same person. So I mean,
Whoa.
well, not the same person. You got Sean McGuire, obviously, Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. Also played by the great the late great Robin Williams, and also his character John Keaton as well. I got Cliff Booth. I think he's a great mentor to
That's
what's his
good.
name's character, and I
Yeah.
can't remember what's
Oh gosh.
It's
Leo's
Once Upon a Time in
character's-
Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leo's character, I can't remember his name. He's been in the business for a very long time, so I mean, whether not really acting, but hey, he takes care of his boy.
The best part of that movie is when he beats the shit out of Bruce Lee in the fucking one.
And last but not least, the wise janitor. I mean, Mr. T. believe in the ball and throw yourself.
Throw yourself. Believe in the ball and throw
No,
yourself.
for real. So I know fuck. I should have looked up his name, but I do think the guy who plays like the groundskeeper stadium guy from Rudy.
Oh yeah, he's good too.
I'm gonna have to look up his name. We got Google people.
I never saw a game from the stands.
His name is Charles Dutton. He played Fortune.
He's awesome. He's a great like unintentional mentor, right? Like just trying to.
Well, he kind of gets Rudy not to give up, and like he kind of gives him that kick in the ass pep talk that he needs
Like,
to get back out there.
But at the same time, he didn't really like want to, right? Like in the beginning, he's like, I don't have time for your shit.
I love his clap. I mean, the clap at the end that he gives, like, yeah, fuck you, white people. I did that.
I did that. Yeah, little Irish kid. I did that, motherfuckers.
So yeah, those are my quick list. What do you guys got?
I have Gene Hackman twice. First for Hoosiers, and then I have him for The Replacements, which one of my favorite like underrated movies. The Replacements, like
such a good.
It's a great movie. I have Billy Blanks in Showdown. Anybody see that movie Showdown in 1993, where he's the school janitor and he has that Mr. Miyagi role where he teaches the kid how to fight, so that way he could beat up the class bully. If you haven't seen that movie, guys, you got to watch the final fight scene. Maybe the worst fight scene in any movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, terrible. And it's Billy Blanks doing Taibo, trying to knock out this other dude. It's pretty bad.
Can I ask you a question, Bob, before you go on? Did you guys ever do Taibo?
Yes. Oh, fuck yes. We fucking did it.
Yeah,
that was maybe in the best shape we've ever been in our lives doing Taibo.
I remember my dad, every time we do Taibo, he'd make us carrot juice. He's like, you're gonna get you going.
Best vision in the game. I just don't understand why Billy had to show off his nipples in those low, like, white beater shirts that he'd wear. I don't understand that.
What else you got, Bob?
Oh, okay. I have, Billy Blanks. I said Gene Hackman. You got to go Chuck Norris from Sidekicks. Great. The late, great Chuck Norris, too. Just passed away recently. Got Mickey from Rocky. I mean, he's probably one of the greatest of all time, motivating that young kid, trying to make him great. Splinter, Master Splinter from the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great one.
Honestly.
Yeah, Joseph being a little late. But yeah, I think I go with that. Master Splinter, Mickey, those are some really good
big time
mentors.
Splinter in the movies. I mean, yes, I know in the cartoon series as well, he's a great mentor. But in that first movie, oh my God, those scenes were. That one scene where he appears to them in the forest through the fire, and
Joseph still cries for that.
That one and his dude, Splinter in that movie, his one-on-one conversation with Raphael about his anger. Ooh, powerful scene, powerful. I'd also quickly like to add Clem from Joe Dirt. He was a nice little mentor.
Is that what's his name?
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken.
Mentor figure to the character Joe Dirt, who he's talking to my guy all wrong. He's this guy, so he's a good mentor. Do it again. I'm not getting it, Walker.
Stab you in the face with a sudden eye.
Christopher Walken is one of those voices that I have to prepare for. I can't do it on the spot, so I have to say like the same 3 sentences over and over to get his voice down. So I'm not even going to try it. So we'll just move on. My honorable mentions: Doc Brown, Back to the Future.
Morty. He tried to get him killed. He almost got them both killed. Right? Is he a great mentor?
I mean, he's brilliant. He's funny. And nobody thought it odd that a strange old guy spent a lot of time with Marty. I mean, where's Marty? Oh, he's with a single old guy who owns a white van. Nobody ever said like, oh, shit.
Okay, we're still talking best mentor, right? You're just talking him down even further.
It wasn't a van. It was a Winnebago.
You're about to see some serious shit.
Snatch your van. I had Jack Horner from Boogie Nights. He gave a lot of people jobs. Who gave a lot of people jobs?
What kind of jobs?
Quick backstory. Randy tried to get me to pick Jack Horner because I think he just wanted to talk about Boogie Nights, and maybe we would have quoted.
You're a star, big bright shining star.
And when he told me that, I sent him a very aggressive text of a line from the movie.
Yes.
Can I kiss you? Can I kiss you on the mouth?
Basically, that scene where Dirk Diggler's high on drugs.
Dick.
He's ready to, it's my big thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The funniest scene of that movie is them fighting over the tapes. You can own the tapes, but the heart and soul is on those. Was he say fucking John C. Reilly? Hilarious.
John C. Reilly was great.
Love
in
that
movie.
Such a
Star
good movie.
maker right there. I had John Keating from Dead Poet Society. Yeah. I had John Keating from Dead Poet Society. Seize the Day sounds great until somebody actually does it, and the school's like, all right, everybody's expelled. But I had
maybe we shouldn't talk about the ending of that movie. Yeah.
No.
Get
my
down
son.
from that tear.
Yeah. We had Mick from Rocky. He doesn't motivate you. He insults you. You're a bum. You'll never make it. Now go out and win. So if you watch Rocky, Mick is just like,
you piece of shit.
Exactly.
Get up, because Mickey loves you, Randall. Come on, man.
You son of a bitch. Get up. Okay. I also had Rocky from Creed. I mean, Rocky found a workout in 1976 and he stuck to it, right? He never changed his fucking workout. Did I get a Bowflex or something? No. Just keep running and drinking eggs. And then lastly, I had Mr. Escalante from Stand and Deliver. He had Cholos doing the Fibonacci sequence, right? And you know what, Bob?
Calculus.
we've all been in front of classrooms. I never heard one of those kids say "Nambe, sir."
I don't think that was a thing back then. They said Charlie.
I mean,
Charlie.
great honorable mention. So we're gonna go on with our selections.
Your heart will go on?
Yes, I'm up first. My pick for best movie mentor is, of course, Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid. All right, let's not overthink this, all right? Let's not get cute. Mr. Miyagi is the greatest movie mentor of all time. Not top 5, not in the conversation. He is the conversation. Now, let me tell you why. Now, here's what's crazy. I'm going to give you guys a little background on this. So this role was almost played by a legend, Toshiro Mifune, one of the greatest actors of all time, absolute icon, great Japanese legend, starred in a memorable number of Kurosawa films. He was in Rashomon, The Seven Samurai, The Hidden Fortress, which Bob calls his favorite work, restroom stall. Anyway, basically, he was a cinema royalty.
The Fortress of Solitude, sir. Get it right.
Only one problem.
Dishonor his name. You dishonor him by pronouncing his name wrong, though.
Mifune, he couldn't speak English. So Hollywood was like, we love you. We love the authenticity, but this character needs to speak English. So enter the most unlikely hero. Enter Pat Morita, who at the time was known as a comedian. He played Arnold on Happy Days, did stand-up comedy, and the studio said, yeah, this is a serious movie about bullying, discipline, and karate. We're not hiring the guy from the diner Fonzie and Richie Cunningham hung out at. So he was nixed after the first audition. Now, this is a crazy resume. I don't know if you guys have watched a movie from 1984 called Night Patrol, and it's a comedy movie about the unknown comic. It's a cop caper as well. Well, Pat Morita plays a guy who gets attacked in the alley, and his voice is dubbed over by a woman. So you have to YouTube this absurd scene. And so you watch this scene, you're telling me that guy is going to play one of the best movie mentor, the best movie mentor of all time. Check it out, Night Patrol for you Gen X kids. Anyway, the transformation. What does Pat Morita do? He auditions again. See, a movie mentor does not give up. He grows out his beard. He changes his voice. He channels his Okinawan uncle, and he walks in the audition like, I'm about to fucking change cinema. And he did. So let me tell you why Mr. Miyagi is the GOAT. No mentor in movie history has ever said, you know what you need? Manual labor with zero explanation. Wax the car, sand the floor, paint the fence. No drills, no sparring, no karate tutorial, just household chores, right? Miyagi invented trust the process before there was a process. And the greatest reveal in movie history, out of nowhere, he hits Daniel-san with show me wax on, wax off. And suddenly the kid is blocking punches like he's in a title fight. He's ready, right? That moment, that's just not a scene. That's cinema. That's education. That's OSHA violations turned into self-defense. But let me tell you some life lessons, because all movie mentors have to give life lessons, right? Other mentors teach you how to fight. Miyagi teaches you balance. He taught us discipline. He taught us inner peace and how to clean with violence. Also, and in Karate Kid 3, when Daniel-san put on a bit of weight, you know, he had Rick Mahorn's ass on those little blue jean shorts. Miyagi didn't body shame him. Miyagi taught him the art of questionable massage. Always look eye. You know, he never gave up on him. So this is why he's also the emotional core, because you have to consider the emotional core when you talk about movie mentors. Miyagi just doesn't see a fighter in Daniel-san. He sees a kid who's angry. He sees a kid who's lost and who's getting bullied. And instead of saying, believe in yourself, he says, clean my fucking house and we'll figure this shit out together. So here's the X factor. Here's why he clears everybody else out. They gave Miyagi a backstory. They gave him a life. He was a war hero. He was a certified badass. He was quiet, wise, and dangerous. And as a bonus, we show that he's a lover. Name another old hermit mentor with game. I'll wait. Nobody. Okay. So Karate Kid Part 2. We're introduced to his old flame, Yuki. Miyagi wasn't just wax on, wax off. We found out that he was waxing that ass, right? And he's not just fixing pipes. He wasn't just fixing pipes in the apartment as the handyman. My man was laying pipe, respectfully. Bonsai. Anyway, okay, so final breakdown.
Bonsai.
Let's review. He trains a kid from zero to tournament champion. And Daniel-san in the tournament, he beats Johnny, the ultimate 80s bully. He beats Steve McQueen's badass-looking son, and he beats Lamar Luttrell. So Miyagi gives life lessons without yelling. He shows up when it matters. He doesn't overcomplicate anything, and he wins fights in 2 moves. And then finally, the man is 70 years old, barely could lift a leg, and he's the most dangerous person in the movie. Other mentors give speeches. Mr. Miyagi gives results. Guys, I dare you to defy this selection. Mr. Miyagi is the best movie mentor of all time. What do you guys think?
Well, first off, he got drunk and cried in front of Danielson. I wouldn't say he's super. That's terrible, 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 terrible. And yes, he does. Daniel's, I can't do it. Oh my God, and my leg. And he says, shut the fuck up, but he's like, ah! And then Daniel shuts up. So he does yell. See, error number 2. He also risked Daniel's life in Karate Kid 2. I don't know if you didn't mention that part. Teaches them nobody throws punches from their hip like that and blocks punches and wins from that little stupid drum that they were spinning around. This is real. This isn't tournament. Why would you put your kid's life in danger then, motherfucker? Sends him out to go get a little girl in a hurricane. Give me the fucking... Yes, he did. And Daniel had to go save the little girl in Okinawa on his own volition. You got to say, so if only the mom had known, Mr. Miyagi would probably be in jail. That's all I'm saying.
You think when he's busting a nut, he's like, yeah. Let me see. Let's first talk about unpaid.
He's got the unpaid child labor. I know. It's called muscle memory, Randall. You forgot to mention muscle memory.
Unpaid child labor. Okay. Now, yes. Okay. Look,
Macho was 35 years old by the way, but go on.
He is on my honorable mention list. Definitely, it is somebody that, yes, I do think he's a pretty good mentor, and mostly I think at the same time because he's kind of like a father figure. Even though he's like, he doesn't have kids. He did have
that he knows of.
But he ends up becoming like the father figure to Daniel. So
he was. Remember, whenever Daniel would wake up, he'd be there eating breakfast with his mom.
But I do see like, yes, unpaid child labor. The aspect of the movie, The Karate Kid. So yes, he's supposed to teach him karate, and he does, albeit unorthodox. Hey, muscle memory. Learn how to paint my fence and do it enough times, and then you should be able to just go like, raise your arm up and down when somebody's throwing punches. I mean, it works for the movie, right? But yes, he did put Daniel in a lot of more dangerous situations,
and he did beat the shit out of a bunch of 17-year-old kids or 16-year-old kids, whatever they were in the movie.
So there is that little knock against him. I mean, hey, Daniel went willingly to Okinawa, and then what was it? Oh yeah, that guy Chosen, and then of course if you follow the series, they end up becoming friends. But that guy Chosen really wanted to kill him.
He was going to kill him.
This is not tournament. This is not tournament.
He broke all the ice, bro, and he stole all the chicks.
When Chosen came down, like Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania, when he came down that wire,
yeah, fucking up all the lanterns that they probably spent like 3 weeks making. The bastard.
That was if a guy comes into a fight, like just propelling down a fucking wire, I'm not fighting that motherfucker.
you can take those drums, those little handheld drums, and shove them up your ass.
He had a knife on him until he got what he wanted, which was, we're gonna fight to the death, and now I'll throw the knife away because I'm just gonna beat your ass to death. I think it's a good selection. Obviously, it's I love these movies. I love the Karate Kid movies. I followed the entire series, even into the TV show, which was good in the beginning because it was called Cobra Kai. It was supposed to be Cobra Kai, and then it turned into Daniel LaRusso's a bitch. But just a little bit.
Stop watching after season 3,
which was a little different. The movie's called The Karate Kid, but his philosophy is defense first. Only use it only use it to save your life.
Always look eye, Joseph.
Yes, during the massage, always look eye. Yes,
it's your money's worth.
So good selection, but albeit a little unorthodox. He's definitely up there in movie history as far as mentors, although it wasn't his real voice.
I will say this. You said unpaid child labor. He gifted him a yellow 1947 Ford Super Deluxe convertible. You know how much that thing is worth?
Today or then?
Today, 1984 even. But I mean, he gave him a car, for crying out loud.
It's his new stepson. Goddamn it, he's sleeping with his mom. Might as well give him a car.
He did not do anything with
Go for a cruise, please. Mijo, go, come back later.
I give him props though, because he did walk out and say, choose.
Yeah, that's right. He chose. I wouldn't have gone with that car.
I wouldn't have gone with that one either. Too. Was it just a convertible feel? Because I think there was other ones there too, but that yellow didn't work for me.
I mean, we can all agree that Daniel's son he had terrible taste. So
I will say this: like, he still has the car, by the way. He very famously said, "I was on a Q&A, and I think
on the TV show.
I posted this when Cobra Kai started. I was in a Q&A podcast." And I made a joke about Ralph Macchio doing Karate Kid Part 3 just to buy a beach house or something. And I thought it was funny, but he looked at me like he wanted to give me a crane kick to the face. So, I mean, Ralph Macchio I'm sure he's a nice guy, though. But he didn't give me a car. Yeah.
He's like 90, so you better be nice to him, Randall.
All right, great. Bob, what do you got for us? Best movie mentor.
Okay, I kind of went in a different direction. One of my favorite movies in the early 90s was The Professional with Leon, and I decided to go with him as the best movie mentor. You want to talk about a badass? He's not teaching somebody how to beat somebody else. He's teaching Natalie Portman how to kill the bastards and how to be a hitman, kill the bastards that killed her family and her little brother. It's an epic movie. He teaches her all this crazy cool shit. He teaches her how to take care of plants, Randall. So he loves the environment.
Yes.
He's just a complete badass, and he's such a nice person, and he's able to takes her in knowing, the danger of protecting her, and he's such like a loner, and so it's a really cool story. Epic movie. Gary Oldman in that movie is a fucking psycho, crazy DEA agent. Like it's pretty epic, and I think that his character and his interactions with Matilda, which is Natalie Portman. This is her first movie, by the way, and I thought the movie was great. Their bond was excellent. The teaching that he teaches her, then him sacrificing himself at the end of the movie to kill the man that killed our family for her. So he the ultimate sacrifice, right? He gave himself. He didn't have Danielson fight for him. He fucking fought. He gave his life for his mentee. So I think it's just a great movie. Awesome character, one of my favorite characters, like unique characters of all time, and I thought he's a great mentor for Natalie Portman.
Here you.
I'll go. Go ahead. I'll go just because. I'm going to defer to you because I've never seen this movie before.
Okay. All right.
But I do know. But
fucking shit. God damn it, Joseph! Come on, man.
I've never seen this.
It's on
I don't
Netflix.
even think I've heard of this movie.
He's probably seen
But
Good Burger like 6 times, but he's never seen.
that was like 6 times when it first came out. But
I'm a
I am
dude, I'm a
factor of this
dude.
dude. I am a fan of this actor though. And now that I know who's in it, so I would definitely check it out. I checked out the cast. I love you pronounce Gene, right? Gene Reno. He's always a funny, well, not funny actor. He's a great actor. He really is.
It's Billy Jean Reno. Billy,
Of course,
God
and
damn
I
it.
saw Gary Oldman is in it. That's obviously,
Dude, Gary
Oldman. Natalie Portman's always been a great actress. So first movie, that's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, man, I'll have to definitely check this out. I'm gonna have to defer to Rand. I'm sorry, man. I've never seen
That's
this movie.
okay.
I'm sure
It's
great.
okay.
You should watch it though. Like it's one of those movies that you see and you'll be like, "That's a badass fucking movie." Kind of like,
It sounds the
it
way you
is.
described him, I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
sacrificed himself,
he's
and
a-
he
yeah,
basically
he's-
gave me the movie away. So
yeah. Oh, sorry, Joseph. Well, I mean, it wasn't 1993.
I know exactly right.
So, but let's not ignore the context here. This movie came out in 1994, which, by the way, is probably the most stacked movie year of all time. Let's name some 1994 movies: The Professional, Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, The Shawshank Redemption.
Why did all our movies come out in the '90s? Why don't
Get busy living. I get busy
Clerks.
dying.
Oh no, yours is the '80s. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Clerks, The Crow, Speed, Dumb and Dumber. I could go on and on, but what a great year
Oh, yeah.
1994 was for cinema. I mean, and we really had it good, guys. I mean, now every third movie is just here's a franchise corpse with a multiverse problem. Go figure it out.
What the fuck?
I need to say this up front. Gene Reno in the movie looks like Vladi Divac picked up a silencer. And
Yes.
Right?
Yes, that's
I
a
was
great
like-
reference right there.
this guy looks like he should be boxing out Carl Malone, not teaching a 12-year-old lessons in New York, right? But I digress. And that's part of the charm, right? The man has the physical energy of an Eastern European power forward and the emotional range of a locked suitcase. But to be fair, Gene Reno made a very smart acting choice. He decided to play Leon as emotionally repressed and kind of simple, almost childlike, to sort of match Natalie Portman being like almost like the older thinking of the
Yeah,
two.
the more mature one of the
like
two.
a flip. I love
Which is
that.
kinda
Good
cool.
choice. Yeah. Gene Reno got cast in part because of his relationship with director Luc Besson, which makes sense because a French director says, "I need a lonely assassin with buried tenderness and Old West sadness," and the French acting community was like, "Brother, we have 6 of those here at lunch." I'm just saying, in another timeline, this role goes to Gerard Depardieu, and the movie becomes The Professional, but with more breathing and delicious bread. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, this relationship is compelling. Doesn't mean it's healthy, right? Just because a movie is excellent does not mean the mentor belongs on Mount Rushmore next to like Miyagi and some of the guys we talked about, and whatever Joseph picked from a movie nobody saw but him.
Randall prefers that she would have died there in the hole too.
Let me get-
Yeah, that's what he's saying. No, he wasn't that great. You just let her die there.
Let me get-
Not teach her vengeance.
I'm gonna give you some props, but I'm gonna have to go on some stuff. Watch. Leon and Matilda have an interesting bond. Yes, it's sweet in places. It's genuine protective kinship there. Yes, but a mentor, I cannot buy. I don't think so. There is no mentorship. This is trauma bond with a silencer. Look, the whole metaphor is kind of wild when you think about this movie. The kid befriends a violent, emotionally scrambled outsider and teaches him how to feel. The plot later became rebranded as Lilo and Stitch, by the way. I'm just saying. But a mentor should do 3 things, right? They should guide you, they should teach you, and they should prepare you for life. Leon prepares you for one specific career path. And I'm sorry, but if your mentorship ends with, and here's how you shoot through a door and disappear from the premises, that internship is not accredited. I'm sorry.
No, just go paint my fence. This is real life, Randall, not a fucking karate tournament.
Do I buy him as a protector? Yes, absolutely. Do I buy him as someone who keeps her alive in a nightmare situation? Absolutely. But protector and mentor, they're not the same. A firefighter can save your life. Doesn't mean he should be teaching you algebra, right? That should be Mr. Escalante.
To all firefighters out there, we apologize up front. Randall lives at 125. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, see, if your stove blows up, motherfucker.
Oh, you got a beehive? Tough shit. Remember your comment?
Okay, to wrap up, Natalie Portman was incredibly young, and she beat out a massive field for that role. And you can see why. I think she beat out like 2,000 actresses vying for this role. But you could see her in her first movie. I mean, she's electric, she's smart, she's wounded, funny, terrifying, heartbreaking. She has to carry so much of the emotional architecture of the movie. He learns from her, not the other way around. And I'm going to tell you the final disqualifier. At the end of the day, you cannot have a mentor where every lesson comes with an unspoken disclaimer. And the disclaimer is, and if anything goes wrong, we're all going to prison. That's not mentorship. That's a federal case with character development. So I cannot buy this.
Well, it's not. It wasn't prison. It was death. It was death, Randall. This is real life. We're keeping it real here.
But he did keep houseplants. So I mean, he was a very environmentally.
He cleaned them leaf by leaf.
He did.
It's a life lesson, Randall.
Very good metaphor. Joseph, what do you got for us?
All right, we're gonna go in another direction as far as karate. My selection for this topic is Mr. Lee from the movie Sidekicks. I fucking love this movie. And so it's a little bit different from a Miyagi feel, all right? If you don't know anything about the movie, Mr. Lee becomes teacher and mentor in karate and in life to a Barry Kubrewski, played by, I can't remember, Jordan?
Barry Wary.
Jonathan Brandis.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah.
Really great movie. I mean, I really love this movie. Mr. Lee serves as this surprisingly effective mentor to Barry, considering he has like his struggles. Barry has struggles with confidence. He's asthmatic and he's often bullied. He lives in a fairy tale life to escape from that, I guess. Mr. Lee gets introduced to him via one of his teachers. It's her uncle. Everybody else sees Barry as this dreamer who's unsure of himself and just lacks confidence, and who happens to be a fan of Chuck Norris. If you know anything about this movie, Chuck Norris is. I know Bob mentioned Chuck Norris. He's mentor adjacent in this movie, though.
He has a really awkward scene where he shows him how to climb the rope, and it's kind of like I can't look at it. I can't watch the whole thing at the fast forward.
But
it makes me feel uncomfortable.
Chuck Norris was in this movie.
Chuck Norris
was in this
Saved
movie.
by the Bell.
Yeah, Primo hermano de Zach.
He's mentor adjacent, but he was very much in this movie. So, Barry's a big fan of Chuck Norris's movies. He dreams to be an action star, karate, whatever, like his hero. Mr. Lee recognizes this and starts, to build Barry's confidence, from the ground up. A little bit different, because like I said, Barry's timid and unsure of himself, but Mr. Lee, introduces him to martial arts because that's something that Barry wants to do, and he helps him believe he's capable of more. This support is huge for Barry. I mean, he like I said, he's often doubting himself. Well, similar in Miyagi style, I mean, he teaches him discipline and focus as well, which are key factors for this.
With more humor.
With more humor and structured very differently. Although through routine and repetition and practice, he channels Barry's energy into something productive instead of fear. But he also has to. This is where I think what is really cool about him in this situation, where Daniel was just kind of geeky, although he was confident. Daniel was confident. Yeah. Daniel LaRusso had confidence. He didn't know how to defend himself.
He had no game, bro. He had no game.
He made some moves on the beach, right? You saw the swagger, right? The Italian.
Yeah, it's because his shorts are really small, kind of tight.
Barry's the complete opposite. But
like I
said, mentioned he's asthmatic, so Mr. Lee has to adapt these teachings, to Barry's limitations, but it works. He doesn't ignore Barry and he doesn't write him off like specifically the local karate instructor, Kelly Stone, played by the hilarious Joe Piscopo in this movie.
Oh yeah, I love Joe Piscopo.
He's hilarious.
Fuck yes.
I thought he'd have a bigger career.
I can break it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Love this movie, dude. So yeah, he doesn't write him off. He sees his potential and he embraces it, and he helps build his and strengthen those limitations into productive skills and to confidence. Not that he didn't have a positive role model. He lives with his father. His father's a widower, but his father's busy, trying to get with the teacher.
How the fuck does the dad pull that? What? That's the most unbelievable part of the movie. Not Barry breaking all those fucking bricks that are on fire in the tournament. The pops laying into the teacher. There's no fucking way, bro. No fucking way.
Not the imaginary Chuck Norris. This is more unbelievable.
But he becomes a very positive male role model for Barry. His mentorship works because it goes beyond, martial arts. Which is, it's a key factor of the movie, obviously. But he helps Barry reshape how he sees himself with confidence. In the end, towards the end of the movie, Barry does actually get to meet Chuck Norris, and he is starstruck in the beginning, but he builds confidence. He has that confidence too. If you know anything about the movie, it came out a long time ago. They need a fourth member of the team. Chuck somehow becomes a member of the team. I know it's unimaginable, but it happens. And
the unimaginable thing, Joseph, is the dad hooking up with a smoking hot teacher. That's just I can't believe it.
Who plays the teacher, by the way?
It is
Joseph had her poster on his ceiling.
No, I didn't.
Let's look up this woman.
Oh, you know who else is in this movie? Danica McKellar.
McKellar, yeah,
McKellar.
of Wonder Years fame. Yes.
Yes. Bo Bridges is a dad. This is why Bob has a tough time.
Hey,
Bo Bridges.
I think I agree with Bob on this.
Thank you.
Her name is Julia Nixon. She played Miss Noreen Chan, his teacher, Mrs. Chan. Her uncle is Mr. Lee. They own a restaurant. It's kind of like, yes, it has its quirks. It's similar to where where Daniel's son is doing child labor for no pay. Barry's just kind of helping out in the kitchen and learning at the same time because they own the Fried and Dragon restaurant.
I have to ask you a question, right? What did Bo Bridges do for a living in this movie?
He's like, I would say an accountant.
Software engineer.
There's no way he's pulling this shit.
That's what I said. No way he's pulling that shit.
He was a software engineer. I think I think if I remember correctly,
was this San Francisco in the 90s? So maybe
no. It takes place in Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Texas movie.
Yeah,
it makes it 10 times better.
Well, that's why they got Walker, Texas fucking Ranger in it, bro.
Yeah, dude. Ultimately, like I said, similar. I guess similar story. At the end of the movie, karate tournament, Barry triumphs and believes in himself, and at the end of the movie, he's able to let go of daydreaming and live his life and be that confident person that he aspired to be. Idolizing a Chuck Norris, but getting that mentorship and training and that belief in himself from his mentor, Mr. Lee. Thank you. Good night.
God bless. Dude, I like this pick, and I like the fact that Mr. Lee actually know how to throw chingazos. He beats the shit out of all those bikers in his restaurant.
I'm sorry. There's a really funny scene where he comes out pretending to be drunk.
Yeah,
he beats the shit out of.
He beats the shit out of all the bikers that are screwing around in his restaurant. Yeah, I like that he's also a participant in the tournament. It works really well. He does teach Barry, gives him a lot of confidence, and I like that it's in a funny way.
And he did karate gi for brick breaking.
And you don't need karate gi for brick breaking. Yeah, I like that part. I think Chuck Norris does. As much as Mr. Lee changes him, it's Chuck Norris that gets him through the hard times. Joseph, like awkwardly climbing that rope in gymnastics. Was it in gym class? He helps him out. He thinks of Chuck Norris and all that shit, and Chuck Norris really does get him through some difficult times in his life. So I think it could be like they were both his mentor, but one was real. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, it's a good pick. It's a really good pick. This is one of our, a movie when we were kids that we watched religiously. We still quote it religiously. So I think it's a good pick.
Richard Mall plays the coach. Hilarious. Yeah. He's funny.
Yeah, Bull from Night Court. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no way. Are you sure he didn't inherit a lot of money, Bo Bridges or something?
I believe he's a software engineer. I'll look it up while you're.
He was trying to do Tai Chi with her at a certain spot, and you're like, what the fuck? There's no way, bro.
I don't think I've ever met anybody named Barry.
Jeff Bridges, you believe, but not Bo.
Yeah. Have you guys ever met a Barry in your life? I've never met anybody named
Great show on HBO Max
Barry,
or HBO. Okay. Barry was amazing.
Kind of going extinct, right? Kind of like, I think Dick Vitale's the last guy named Dick that's still alive. But anyway, okay.
I don't know. Richard's not really a big name.
It's funny that you mentioned Chuck Norris because, as we know in our history, Chuck Norris was originally selected to play John Kreese in The Karate Kid. Decided not to do it because he didn't want karate dojos to get a bad name or a bad reputation. So it's kind of funny how Chuck Norris kind of comes back and says, you know what? These movies are worth a shot. So he gave it a shot. But all right, Sidekicks, which is a movie I've not really watched. I've seen clips. I think it's a very endearing movie for millennials. I think being a Gen Xer, this is kind of out of my way. But I know for millennials, it's a very
What year did it come out? It was 95?
I think 93, right?
93? 93, okay, cool.
92, 93. 93, I'm sorry.
93, okay, yeah. I was a little out of it by then, but I mean, I know it's a very endearing movie. I know this movie means a lot to a specific group of people, as I mentioned. Basically, if you were a kid in the early 90s and you had asthma and imagination and access to TNT, this was your Avengers, right? Like I said, I've seen bits and pieces of it. I know it's got Joe Piscopo, who at the time was completely shredded. We don't know why. Chuck Norris and Jonathan Brandis.
I love this fight scene.
I'll go with you. Wow, I fucking love that shit. Pinche Piscopo is like.
I'll go with you.
I remember when Piscopo and Eddie Murphy were the two big stars. Were the two big stars of SNL. You thought they were both going to have these monster careers, but Piscopo
Yeah.
didn't quite do it, but I mean, he's still a funny guy. Can I talk a little bit about Jonathan Brandis? I'm looking at his,
Sure.
IMDb, Ladybug, Sequest,
Oh, I love Ladybug. It was fucking hilarious.
the TV series It, The Never Ending Story too. He had everything. He had the looks, the presence. The kid he had like this energy about him. And then Hollywood it just moved on. And that's the coldest part of the industry, right? When they forget you, they really forget you. And it's
Well,
sad,
it is like, well, he was part of like those teen bop magazines, you know what I mean? And so was like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and so were like these kids. And then like once they hit a certain age, it's like Hollywood fucking moved on from these guys, you know what I mean?
I mean, he was coasting, and you could tell he wanted it. Like every role you see, Jonathan Brandis is, yeah, he hadn't done anything like critically acclaimed, but he put it all into every role he played, right? And just losing him
funny.
and watching him, yeah, he's a
fucking hilarious in Ladybugs, dude.
he was good, yeah, Martha, right?
Yeah. Tell me where it hurts, honey. He's like, oh no, I'm okay. He gets hit in the nuts.
Poor kid.
My favorite part of that is when he's trying to address him in the dressing room. And Rodney Dangerfield comes out with Jonathan Brandis dressed as a girl, and like everybody's looking. Not too tight. That hurts.
Yeah. Fucking, he's at the bar. The bartender's like, "There ain't nothing you can tell me that I ain't heard before." Well, I got my girlfriend's son. I got him to dress like a girl, and I talked him into playing with me. Get out of here, you pervert! We don't like your kind around here. Fucking funny. At least I beat the chick. Fucking Rodney Dangerfield was hilarious in that movie.
Great soccer movie, right? So, but there's a lesson in Jonathan Brandis's sad tale. Look, we all like Cobra Kai, and we're drawing comparisons between, Karate Kid in this movie, but not everybody on the Cobra Kai show who is, a young actor is going to have a 20-year career. I'm not worried about Miguel. He was 32 years old since season 1, so I don't care about him. The rest, the industry will humble you quick. If you don't evolve, Hollywood will put you in the same storage unit as Beanie Babies and MySpace passwords. So
they're coming back one day, Randall. They're coming back.
I will say this, Brandis's career and his life is a cautionary tale, and it's difficult to watch clips of someone who is so good and loves what he does so much. So seeing the clips, I was kind of like, man, I just felt bad for him. I know he did what he did, and he's no longer with us, and it's just tragic. But let's talk about Mr. Lee, because this man is basically Hill Country Fair version of Mr. Miyagi, Joseph. This is the watered down Timu Miyagi, okay? He had better outfits, better hair, and, he's more of the fun uncle energy than Miyagi was.
Yeah, and he also beat up men, not a bunch of 60-year-old boys.
He's comedy. It's ironic because Mr. Miyagi, who is very serious, is a comedian, and Mako, who plays a Mr. Lee in this movie, was more of a serious actor. So they kind of flipped that switch. So Barry gets bullied, he's overlooked, he's struggling, and Mr. Lee shows up like, I see greatness in you, and that's mentor one-on-one, right? You check that box, and the kid goes from getting folded in hallways to mentally running through the entire dojo like it's the Royal Rumble. I mean, that's growth, right? Is it real? No. Is it effective? Emotionally? Yeah. I mean, this kid is undefeated. And let's be honest, this is straight up Bruce Lee mythology. The discipline, the philosophy, the confidence. Mr. Lee is a motivational quote in funny hats, right? That learned karate. But let's compare real quick. Mr. Miyagi fixes your life in your car. Obi-Wan Kenobi prepares you to fight evil. Mr. Lee, he helps you win arguments internally, right? I think he's just a watered down Mr. Miyagi.
He makes good food.
I just think Dragon. This is a very deep reach for a pick, but I respect that you went far for this pick. I just don't think
you should have said it. He almost said it. I respect that you went that deep. That's what he was about to say, folks. He got himself like, oh no, can't. He pulled back a little bit. At least he didn't say pulled out.
That's speaking of Macau. He had a very he passed away in 2007.
His name's Macau, or I called him Mako. I might be.
I don't know how to pronounce.
It's like the shark.
Say Macau.
Yeah,
Macau.
Okay, all right, great actor.
He's from Japan, so maybe it's pronounced Mako.
Mako.
But died in 2006. Great actor, great career. I like it because a lot of his catalog of movies is definitely more serious. Great roles in great films. Funny that you mentioned Master Splinter. One of his last roles, the last things he completed voice-wise, he was the voice for Master Splinter in the 2007 animated TMNT film. So, and he was the voice of Splinter, another mentor. So, I mean, I like it though. I know you call watered down. Get out of here. Mr. Lee can take care of Miyagi like nobody's business, and make you laugh. Wow, I didn't see while Miyagi's breaking ice. Mr. Lee's breaking bricks.
No, Miyagi didn't break the ice. He made Danielson do it. He's like, fucking try it. If you break your hand, bus.
That's right.
We can enjoy vacation.
More ice than he did. What a terrible fucking mentor. Put him in danger and shit. Do it.
I just want. We really need to go back to this fucking Bo Bridges. There's no way he was getting that. There's no way he was getting that. I don't understand it.
I think this movie gets disqualified based on that.
Based on that.
It's not confirmed that they ended up dating, but it kind of seems like
yeah, they were doing something at least.
He was going to be Barry's new stepmother, and uncle was going to be great uncle, whatever.
Oh, good for Bo Bridges, man. I can't hate on that. Guys, as we start to wrap up, if you were a movie mentor, what would your style be?
I'd probably be like the Macho Man Randy Savage, loud and in their face, and and motivational. Yeah, it's probably the way I'd be. Tough love, Randall. Tough love. We got to get these sissies to grow a pair and grow up. Let's go.
I have no desire to be a mentor. I would be terrible at it because I use foul language and I may not yell. I'd probably it's just not a good situation.
He just stares.
Let's just leave it alone.
Let's
talk about you.
Randall will be the guy, the mentor that brings the snacks and the juice after the game. Okay, let's talk about that.
Life work involves mentoring.
It does.
So
I love
tell us, man. I mean, we hear a lot of stories about, your students, rolling their eyes at your dumb jokes, but
just like our audience.
But please.
By the way, we've heard at least 5 or 6 dad jokes today that I've been like, chinga.
But seriously, Randall does this for a living. So do you try to be? What do you try to be?
He wants to be Mr. Miyagi. Are you Mr. Miyagi in this scenario? Let's hear it. Randall. What's your style?
To be a mentor, I think you have to listen. You have to find people's strengths, and I think you have to really encourage people to work on their weaknesses. Right? You have to build them up, but you have to be honest. Right? Just like all of the mentors we talked about were honest. So you have to be honest with people, let them find their strengths and work on their weaknesses. But I think the most important thing is listening. I mean, that's what you got to do when you're a mentor is listen to what people need and how you can help them.
Speaking of honesty, okay, Bo Bridges, if you're out there listening, there's no way, bro, that you had a chance with that. There's no way. This movie's bullshit. Sorry.
Last words on movie mentors.
I think we grew up on a lot of movies that had movie mentors in the 80s and early 90s. So I think we can relate a lot. And I think a lot of us, we're all three really into sports, and there's a lot of great movies or action movies that had some kind of mentor, montage, that kind of shit, dude, that we've always been interested in. So I think it's always, I think that kind of movie is always going to have a special place for all of us in our hearts because that's our style. That's what we like. And I think that it makes for a great movie. I mean, ask Star Wars. How many billions of dollars have they made?
But I don't think we have a lot of movies these days that is there something similar that you can name that is on the level of like some of the three that we mentioned or the characters that we talked about?
Coach Carter, but even then, that came out in like 2005.
That's another one too. I forgot about Coach Carter.
Put the motherfucking basketball in the motherfucking hoop.
Could I give you a recent example? This is not a movie, but a TV show like Shrinking. Harrison Ford is like the mentor.
Yeah, that's an amazing show. That's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah, I mean, so he's just good at it, right? And he looks the part. He's a great actor. So
is it because he's old? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Was there? I couldn't find any female ones, and I thought about like the Devil Wears Prada, but she's kind of a bitch. So like, isn't in these movies where like
it's called Tough Love, Joseph, what your generation knows nothing about.
One of the time, my generation.
I know the same age.
I kind of in these movies where we have it's not that they're not out there, but like you see a lot of these movies where the female character that rises above and or comes out of at the end of the movie stronger and this more defined character or better at the end. They're usually kind of held down by a woman. And we're going to probably cut this.
No. Actually, it's good because I think
it's a trope, right? It's a stereotype.
Yeah. But
that's bad for the movie. That's like that's not like you're not. why do a movie where the woman on top is bringing the woman down who's trying to.
There are a lot of great, Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous
Pfeiffer.
Minds. She's a great movie mentor, right? Mary
That's right.
Poppins,
similar to let's.
What the fuck did Mary Poppins do? Let's get. Yeah, I saw it in a bunch of lists. Like, she flying around with a goddamn umbrella. She wasn't doing shit. Let's pump the brakes.
Sarah Connor, the fairy godmother.
Sarah Connor.
I honestly think that this is a nostalgia show. This is pop culture. And we talk a lot about the 80s and the 90s. So I think a lot of the things we talk about are very antiquated as far as, what's been changed recently. I mean, we're not going to talk about a movie from 2025 because it hasn't really
Miss Honey
aged.
from Matilda. That's another one. My bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're referencing a lot of movies that were for their time and not for like what's going on now. So things have changed and we're happy to see it. There are a lot of great female movie mentors out there, but I mean, this is a very specific era that we talked about. All our movies were from 1984 to 1994. So that era didn't provide a lot of that structure that we see now.
What's her name? Goldie Hawn.
Wildcats.
Wildcats, baby.
Oh, Wildcat. Yeah. Oh, that was a great movie.
We got it.
Yeah.
Randy only says that because she comes out in the tub.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
How you enjoyed the game so far?
My favorite scene is when she says, I'll stop coaching you guys if you could beat me running.
And erase it. Yeah. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're going to kick her ass. And she keeps running, and they all fucking pass out and stuff.
Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson as 38-year-old high school students. I mean, Wildcats, you got to watch it. But actually, that was a great point, Joseph, because we do have to mention and admire our female mentors. And
Michelle Pfeiffer, best one in Dangerous Minds, thought she was amazing.
And I think that probably deserves its own episode in the future, just to make sure we recognize them.
I think we've talked enough. I think we've said enough. We've said our piece.
I'll just say movie mentors, they're incredible as long as you have to deal with them for only 2 hours. Because in real life, I'm not waxing anything. I'm not running at 5 a.m. I'm definitely not decoding advice, right? The best movie mentors just don't teach skills. They give the hero belief that they did not have. They don't make you great. They just put you in situations where you don't have a choice. So I love movie mentors. Guys, before we wrap up, any things you got going on in the next couple of weeks that you want to mention or shows that you're watching?
I just watched the newest episode of... Oh, no, I need to finish it. Never mind. I need to finish the newest episode of Invincible. Its season's been great. One more episode next week. I'm gonna wait for at least. I think I might wait for the boys to release all their episodes so I can watch them one after the other.
Yeah.
But I've heard The Boys is insane right now. I've heard this new season is always the final season. Yeah, but the final season they're going all out. I've heard so, and I've been trying to avoid any kind of clips while scrolling reels on Instagram. I'm really interested in that movie, that Mummy movie. Have you seen the previews?
It looks creepy as shit.
Mummy movie. It looks that's pretty cool. It looks pretty damn good. I'll say that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, there's a new one. There's also a new one on Netflix that's supposed to be pretty like scary or horror movie.
Check out that HBK documentary on what is it, on Peacock?
And the Hogan one coming out on Netflix too.
I've seen a lot of clips of the HBK one, and I was like, fuck, I need to watch this.
Why? Just listen to a Bret Hart podcast, bro. It'll tell you everything you need to know about Heartbreak Kid.
There was a good clip. There was a good clip I saw of The Undertaker basically saying like how at the time when Shawn was at this point where his life was being, he was fucking his life up, that The Undertaker was like minutes or days away from just beating the shit out of him.
Can't wait to watch. And it's WrestleMania weekend, so it's perfect.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's what we're doing.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, WrestleMania weekend.
What do you feel about these 2 days things? I don't really like it, right?
I don't like it because I have to fly out to Washington, D.C. on Sunday. I'm doing something with the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities.
But you're Russian.
So here's
you're going to say, all right, you're Hispanic heritage? Say one full sentence. Give us a paragraph in Spanish, and Randy's going to be, le gusta a cereal.
So they gave us
no
the agenda.
Me gusta.
They gave us the agenda, and one of the things is what to do when you're approached by ICE, like a guide. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Telling you ICE is going to approach you.
Yeah. And so
you're going to a Hispanic Institute rally, or what is it?
I just know that I'm just going to see something pop around the corner. Hey, I see you guys. What's going on? You fell into my trap.
How you doing? Welcome. I am here to surprise you. I wasn't hiding behind this waiting for you all. Shut the fuck up.
It was the greatest trap ever.
So some would say too great.
Are you okay? Do you need a doctor? I'm a doctor.
Anyway, let's move on.
I love the Latinas. What is he say? I've seen that one. Oh, shit.
I can't do anymore. I think we're just gonna have to end right here, guys. All right, and that's our show, everyone. Listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Most importantly, let us know what you think about the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com, and you can always follow us on all of our social media platforms and accounts. Just search for Formidable Opponents. We want to thank Creative Little Pill for her great artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast platform you're listening to us on. And join us next episode. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with Saddest 90s Songs. So from Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. I hope I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bonsai Danielson.